So I'm going to start by saying a prayer. And the prayer brings me into what I experience as a slightly altered state of consciousness. I feel like it brings me into an elevated, expanded state of consciousness. And as I say the prayer, my intention is for all of us together to create this collective field coming into this more open state of consciousness. I experience it as a consciousness where I'm not so limited by my human mind and all of its judgments, expectations, all of the mental chatter. And I connect more with the cosmic mind or with pure consciousness. And from this place, we have access to a knowing, a remembering of our divine nature, of our power to create. From this state of consciousness, it's like a higher perspective. We see everything through the lens of love, trust, possibility. It naturally inspires compassion and forgiveness of ourselves. It also helps eradicate and dispel any fear, any anxiety. It's a perspective that is tremendously healing. So as I say this prayer, my intention, my prayer is for us all together to come into this state of consciousness. And then from there, we'll begin moving energy. Each and every one of us will be welcoming in divine energy, whatever it is that wants to come through for us. And this energy is always experienced so differently. Sometimes for me, it's like just so pleasurable and blissful. Sometimes I'm moving through things and it can be really uncomfortable. Sometimes it's just an anchoring and a peace. Sometimes it feels like an awakening of Kundalini energy, and I can feel like I want to move and breathe and make sound. And sometimes insights come through. Sometimes it just feels like blank, nothing. Sometimes you might feel really tired. It's always so different. Best to have no expectation at all and simply trust that whatever comes through for you is absolutely perfect for you and is what is meant to be for you. We are coming together to create this collective experience that is for you. It's going to be unique for each of you, whether you're present here, whether you're listening to the replay. And trust that this energy, this experience will bring forth whatever is most supportive of you. And when it comes to the part where we get into the Akashic reading, permission to receive and integrate anything that comes through that resonates with you, and just release, let go of anything that comes through that doesn't resonate with you. Invitation to align everything to your personal truth, knowing that the perspectives that are shared here, they are my best attempt at sharing a higher perspective. And they are not the ultimate truth, because the ultimate truth is all perspectives. There is no ultimate truth. Yet sometimes somebody can share a truth with us. And when we welcome it and integrate it, it can liberate us. It can help us elevate it and expand our consciousness, and it can serve us. So that's my intention in sharing. Yet everything that is shared may not be for you. And if it feels like it's not, then permission to just let it go and know that you are the ultimate spiritual authority in your own life. And really, in all of this spiritual seeking, what we're actually seeking is us. What you're seeking is you. And it's all about your connection to your divinity and your channel, which is always there, which is always active, always accessible. Anything that you see anybody else doing, you have the power to do yourself, whether it's channeling a lot of energy, whether it's channeling this beautiful wisdom, all of that power that you witness is yours. And one of my intentions in these offerings is to share an experience that helps to activate everybody's remembering of how to access this energy and this divine wisdom. It is of utmost importance at this time because there are so many suggestions and influences in our external reality that are suggesting that reality is one way, that perhaps we should be in fear, that there's limitation, scarcity, that there's divisiveness, that there's something to fight. And the way that we can make ourselves immune to these suggestions is by cultivating direct access to our own creatorship. When we are working with our own direct access to our creatorship, we do not buy into ideas of victimhood, and our power cannot be taken from us because we know that our power is ultimately ours and it's never actually taken. It's only given. And it's given when we are in fear, when we don't trust, when we don't believe that we are one with all of life. This connection reminds us of all of that, and it inoculates us from any sort of manipulative agenda that may want to have us believe that we are less powerful than we actually are in contributing to the co-creation of life here on earth. So really important time to reclaim our power and reclaim this channel that each and every one of us has to divinity, to source, to wisdom, to love, to healing, to our ability to guide our lives. And welcome everybody who's just joined us. Aw. Okay. So I'm going to begin to drop in with the prayer, and I'd love to invite for all of you to come into meditative position. Perhaps close your eyes. And allow yourself to open to receive. Perhaps experiencing in this moment an expansion in your capacity to receive, an intentional opening of the heart to receive. The divine energy that is coming in at this moment to support us in the activation and connection of our channel. Each and every one of us receiving this energy directly through us, through our channel, awakening this channel. Remembering that we have access to this energy at any time, that each and every one of us is a walking, talking, breathing embodiment of divinity. A walking, talking, breathing divine channel. Allowing this to be so in this now moment. As you relax, let go, release into a trusting, relaxed, expansive state of consciousness. Receiving this energy with every breath. Offering your trust to this transmission, and in doing so, offering your trust to all of life, to yourself, to God, Spirit, Source, the universe. Receiving all of the love of creation in your heart. And knowing that on some level, it is all here for you. in support of you. And now allowing your breath to support you in the letting go, releasing with every exhalation any part of you that may have been lingering in doubt, that may have been harboring mistrust. That may be holding anything, any offense from the past that inhibits your capacity to receive in this now moment, to trust in this now moment, to allow all of your soul to be present here in your body, in your breath, in this now moment. Releasing with every exhale. Anchoring in presence with every inhale. Allowing the breath to guide you in the receiving of you as divine channel. Spirit, support me in coming into an elevated, expanded state of consciousness so that I may be one with your perspective. Set aside the totality of my personality so that I may serve as a clear channel for your divine loving guidance and knowing. Allow me to see those who are present on this call and all who tune into the replay as they are seen in the light of the Akashic Records. To help me to know them as they are known in the mind of spirit. Enable me to share all the communication, divine healing energy that would most support their empowerment with integrity, clarity, and love. So it is. The Akashic Records are now open. Simply welcoming this energy and allowing yourself to just be in the mystery, in the magic, being wherever it is that you may be in this state, in this moment. There's a beautiful energy streaming in that, if I were to put words to it, would be, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And in some ways, this stream that is coming in is supporting the clearing, the erasing of our Akashic records, of our identification with who we've been, attachment to certain components of this 3D reality, or any holding on to any experience of our past, anywhere they may still be resentment or lack of forgiveness, or any trauma wound rooted in what may be, what was, rooted in what was, so that we may restore the truth of consciousness here. We are not the 3D reality. We are consciousness. We are our consciousness. And this I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Helps to disentangle us from any lies. Any conditioning or manipulation. That would have us stray from our inherent divine truth. The recognition, remembering, and living of our divine power. The recognition, remembering, and living of our inherent oneness. Relating to all of life as an aspect of self, as an extension of self, thereby restoring trust, restoring compassion, restoring love, letting love flow, letting love clear, letting love heal. Trust in love. Restoring trust in life. Restoring trust in self and other. And by doing so, opening the possibility opening to all that is available to us here. As divine, empowered creators. Surrendering to spirit, to source, to divinity. As we collectively move through this process of ascension, of remembering, acknowledging every step of the way, that this is truly for us. And it is all occurring through us. And together, we are rising. And all that is not founded upon this love, this trust, this recognition of oneness is falling. We are in a period of accelerated transition, accelerated ascension. With what may feel like many initiations or death portals before us, old aspects of ourselves dying, who we are, what is important to us, the world around us, our identities changing. Continuously come back to the heart. Remember that you are consciousness. Release identification with your 3D forms. And come home to the essence of you. Knowing that a grand part of this initiation is the reclamation of our creatorship, of our power, of our peace, of our love, of our unity. You can direct and guide your consciousness to bring its focus back on that which you know yourself to be, that which you desire to experience, to create, to receive. Truly honoring your divine contribution in the arising of all that is. You have impact, tremendous impact, magical impact, miraculous impact. You have power, tremendous power, magical power, miraculous power. And all of it is yielded in collaboration with God, with Spirit, with Source. Invitation to let God in. Welcome Spirit into your life to guide you, to inspire you, to reveal to you all that it is that you need to know for your greatest being and becoming. And trusting in this moment that you cannot be led astray and you never have been. There's a perfection to the unfolding of life of which you are a part of. No matter what, you've always been one with the perfection, and you always will be. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Directed at all that I am, all that we are, all experiences, all the challenges, all of it, truly, unconditionally embracing all of it. In love and gratitude, simply for this moment, to allow for whatever healing we may be ready for to occur. This is an integral step in the reclamation of our consciousness. Your consciousness is yours. For so long, humanity has held itself as powerless, as a victim, as small, as subjected to greater authority or greater powers. It's a lie that becomes true as we believe it and play into it and choose to live it. It is presently being dismantled on this planet because it's not rooted in love. And there is such a massive influx of light streaming into the planet at this time. Shining light, illuminating, bringing to our awareness what was not rooted in love. Know and trust that is all of that is illuminated within you, all the patterns, the habits, the perspectives, the ways of relating to others and to yourself and to life that are not rooted in love. The same is happening to every other being on the planet. This is the transformative process, and it's not always easy. It can be incredibly challenging, bringing to light all of the pain, the trauma, the wounding, the suffering that we have collectively experienced at the hands of each other. We've undergone genocides, we've undergone wars, we've undergone murder and rape and theft and slavery. We have mistreated each other, we have hurt and harmed each other, and many of those wounds are still so present and active within the collective human heart, the collective human relationship. And each and every one of us is here to contribute to the healing of all of this, of all of it, of all the pain of our ancestors, of the pain of our childhood, the pain of our past lives. It's all coming into light, into love at this time. And this is the process that we are in. And we need to feel our pain and grief when it arrives and fill ourselves with divine love and trust when it is time. Allowing ourselves to move through this process with so much patience, compassion, grace, knowing that we cannot rush our healing. And everything that we see unfolding on the world stage is ultimately orchestrated by God, by Spirit. Permission to trust there is a mind far greater beyond this limited human mind that is responsible for all of it. And that knows you and loves you and is one with you. You are Spirit's beloved child. Trust in what is unfolding and trust in your role here, your capacity to have impact, to make an immense difference. That's why you are here. That's why you exist in this body, in this now moment. That's why you felt called to attend this transmission, to listen to this replay. And that is why you are here. And taking a deep breath in as you receive it, as you receive even more of your power, of your purpose in this now moment. Trusting that this activation, this transmission of remembering on your behalf is, can be, will be truly life-changing. Trusting in the integration of all of these energies, of these words, and trusting in how they naturally take root and blossom and bloom within your life, all in divine timing. When you're ready in the ways that you are ready. letting who and how you naturally are and your contribution on the planet at this time to be more than enough. It's spectacular, it's glorious, it's so worthy of celebration. And truly allowing yourself to receive this gratitude from all of life for you, for all that you are, for all of the love that you've brought forth to humanity, for the space that you've held for everything, for everyone throughout this transformative time. And as you receive that gratitude, letting that gratitude fuel you, inspire you, move you. Anchoring in the remembering that not only are you enough, you are everything that you are meant to be. You could not possibly be any more because you're all of it. Resting in the knowing I am enough. Honoring Spirit's design, the way in which Spirit made you perfect as you are. Nothing needs to change, and yet everything will change as it is meant to. Aligning with this trust, which restores to you your power because your power is rooted in Spirit, it's rooted in God. We don't have power outside of God. So, in our trust in God and our trust in life, we restore our power to ourselves. In fighting, in resisting, we drain and diminish our power. And it is a misuse of our divine creative potential, of our divine creative energy. And simply receiving in this now moment, allowing the energy and all the words shared to land where they will. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for who you are, how you are. Thank you for all that you've been and all you will be. It has all served a purpose. Feeling in this moment how much you truly belong here. Present in your body, contributing and creating as you do. Acceptance of your being here, embracing of the opportunity before you in your being here. This time is ripe with opportunity. So much growth, expansion, liberation available to us here and now. Mm. For now, simply being, receiving, trusting what is unfolding. This high frequency energy can address, can touch and transform in ways that the mind may not be aware of or understand. Sometimes the energy is so much more than the words, and its transformative power is mysterious. It's beyond the comprehension of the mind. and it works. It addresses the prayers that are ready to be answered. It supports the catalyzing of the shifts that are ready to be made. Receiving this moment as so valuable. Your simple and pure beingness as you receive. Mm. And simply allowing, trusting as this energy continues to move. And trusting that the energy brings it all and says it all. Communicates what needs to be said, known, realized, experienced, perhaps better than words ever could. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Trusting that this energy will be integrated into your beingness in whatever way most serves. Acknowledging the initiatory portal that you just moved through. A new level of the reclamation of your power and of the essence of your consciousness, of your trust. And of your receiving of spirit, communion with spirit. Allowing of spirit to move through you, allowing of love to move through you. And I would love to invite you to stay in this space for as long as you'd like. I feel like there's still a lot of energy moving through. And it doesn't necessarily have an expression or a voice, words that want to be communicated, any sort of mental understanding. It's simply the purity of the frequency. And however it moves through you, a unique experience for you, divinely designed for you. Thank you for joining me in this meditation and this transmission. As we continue to receive this energy, I would love to open it up to questions. So if anybody has any questions, you can share them in the chat box, or you can use the raise your hand feature. I'm offering question time right now because I said that I would, but I really am feeling the alignment of like continuing to be in this energy. It felt like a unique transmission that was like very uniquely designed for each one of you present, that did not carry with it any sort of specifics in terms of direction or guidance. It was like I was seeing each and every one of you in the reclamation of your consciousness, like your consciousness and your divine power. And it was just so beautiful and extraordinary to witness and to experience. And I'm truly feeling so grateful for each and every one of you who are present, seeing a few new faces, and yeah, and also familiar faces of people who have taken my training. I'd love to hear about your experience if you feel called to share in the chat box. And I see Lauren raised her hand.
Hi.
Hey.
I do have a question. I've been, exploring spirituality over the past year and coming into sort of like the period of my Saturn return, like the exact Saturn return is about like a year from now. And of course, COVID going on in this period. And so I'm kind of curious in terms of any guidance maybe from the Akashic Records to help guide or focus this exploration, because so much of it is interesting and you can't do everything at once. So maybe even a little guidance from the higher self on what, is the best for me to move forward or do first in terms of exploring psychic abilities or tarot versus astrology and things like that.
It's a really beautiful question. Thank you, Lauren. Presently, what I'm seeing is the cultivation of that direct connection. It's a merging of self with spirit. May my eyes be your eyes. May my mind be your mind. May my will be thy will. And in the coming together of that, we can serve simply in our being. It's in the words that we say, it's in the way that we look at people and perceive them. It's like we just activate people everywhere we go. And we'll have the intuitive guidance that, like an astrology reading, it's so beautiful to look at someone's birth chart. We can learn so much about them and we can share so much valuable information. Yet in that moment, and this is not to discount or discredit astrology in any way. I love and honor and highly revere and respect astrology. In that moment, what I was seeing was the value in simply existing beyond the mind, where you don't necessarily need a chart and then mentally speak to what you know about a chart. It's more about a sincere connection to the being before you and how you can best serve them in that moment. Sharing the word, sharing the energy, sharing the support that uplifts and uplevels them without the need for any sort of specific practice. It's like like your psychic sight is, the looking at the astrology chart. Your intuitive knowing is those tarot cards. You don't necessarily need the practice. You are becoming it. So I feel like the cultivation of your direct connection, the time that you spend in this field, like the field that we co-created together, that field is transformative. The time that we spend intentionally communing with spirit brings us closer to the eyes, to the mind, to the heart of spirit. And really, that's what all of those other practices are intending to do. Yet we can do it directly. So, not to say that this is, the direction, the guidance for you. It feels like in the cultivation of that within you, you will feel a pull towards one practice, and it'll feel aligned and it'll feel inspiring. Or you may feel a pull towards different practices because perhaps learning and exploring these different practices will bring forth different openings for you. But really, it's about your intuitive opening, and it's far beyond the mind. Like it feels very intuitive, psychic, directly connected in nature. And it feels like a lot of it is rooted upon your own self-development, because the foundation from which you're going to be sharing is so important. We can learn all the words by reading all the books, but when we share wisdom, it's really only transmitted when we embody it. You cannot transmit what you are not embodying and living in your life. So it's like your whole life is being up-leveled in a sense, so that you can embody this wisdom, this love, this compassion, this possibility, this reclamation of your power, and transmit it in a potent way. So you'll find that in many ways, your life is the schooling, it is the teacher, it's the different challenges that arise, the learnings. As you embody that, it is transmitted, and the people will come to you who would like and need support in the realms that you have, in a sense, moved through or transcended or healed from. There's a magic to it. So really, you're being asked to open and surrender to the magic of it all and continue to offer yourself to life. Allow that to be the prayer. I'm here in service. May my eyes be your eyes, God. May my mind be your mind. May my will be thy will. I'm here for you and with you, as you. I love you. Thank you. How may I serve today? And is it you that needs to be served, some aspect of you, or is it another before you? And service is not just in the formal offering of a session. It's in having fun and anchoring in the frequency of fun. It's playing in the waves. It's, calling your mom. It's like making the most nourishing meal just for yourself to serve your body. It truly is in everything. When everything is done with intention, do not underestimate the impact that it has. Everything that we do, that we think, that we feel, and the way in which we do it and think and feel it, it has a ripple effect. It radiates outwardly. We're all so connected and we're all so impacted, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. So even moving through life with love, with presence, cleaning our home with love and presence and gratitude, that has ripple effects. It has impact. So truly our service is not rooted in the creation of one offering. It is in everything. And you really can't go wrong in what direction you choose to head in. And you may head in one direction and then another, because I see your mind as so expansive.
Yeah, no, it's for my chart, Sagittarius North Node is that ever, the forever student, forever learning. Yes. Definitely makes sense. And Mercury and Pisces, that the things that you say, I'm yep, makes sense.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that question. I feel like that was so perfect. Often these questions are applicable to everybody, to everyone present, to everyone that listens to the replay. That was lovely. Thank you, Lauren. Lynn says, perfect, yes. Mm. Yeah. Marge says, your sharing has such beautiful truth. And yes, presence and oneness with the divine is everything. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to address this question from Maureen. Why am I feeling of emotional disconnect, even from my family? My desire to be alone, not knowing what love feels like, not trusting others, feeling stuck, out of touch with my passions, calling, etc. Okay, first, what I want to, I love this question. Thank you so much for contributing it. First, I want to create the foundation in the answering of this question of like normalizing that way of feeling. Collectively, humanity has undergone so much trauma. There's a reason why we feel emotionally disconnected. There's a reason why we are desiring to be alone. There's a reason why we don't feel like we know what love feels like. There's a reason why we don't trust others. There's been so much trauma, and it hasn't been digested and processed and healed, and we've been like passing it on to each other and relating to one another from these traumatized places, with which only exacerbates the trauma. It's like the trauma is contagious. It's everywhere. So know that there's nothing wrong with you in feeling any of this. There's nothing wrong with you. It's so normal. Of course, we would feel this way, considering the world that we are presently living in, the way in which humanity is relating to each other, and all of the unprocessed pain and grief and mistrust that is still so present and active and alive in the collective human field. And we are contributing to humanity's healing, each one of us, in many different ways. One of them is through the experiencing of this trauma and transmuting it within ourselves. But the transmutation begins when we come into full acceptance of it, and when we hold it with so much love and compassion. When we see it for what it is, embrace it, accept it, like treat it with love, instead of believing that it should be different, or that it is somehow a sign that there's something wrong with me or wrong with the world. It's like we change our lens, we shift the way we look at it so that we can start to bring forth love. And we're not bypassing any of what actually is. We're in it and we're experiencing it and we're seeing it, the reality, the truth of it, while simultaneously practicing bringing forth this love, this acceptance. I am lovable despite what I may be feeling. I'm worthy of love. I can receive love. I can experience love for this, for myself. I open myself to divine love, regardless of what I may be experiencing, even though, in spite of and with whatever I may be experiencing, there's nothing wrong with me. I have every reason to feel this way. Of course, I would feel mistrust. Of course, I would want to desire to be alone. Of course, I would feel disconnected from my passions. Look at the world. Look at humanity. Look at what has been. That's the foundation, really normalizing it. Because in the normalizing it, we can release our resistance to it. And we can know that each and every one of us is going through our own version of this, our own unique version. And the normalization of it and the acceptance of it. When I say normalization, I mean not that this is normal, that perhaps is not the most accurate word. It's like the acceptance of it, the validating of it. It's like we need to validate it for ourselves. See that us being in that state is not our fault, yet it is our responsibility to heal, meaning we have the ability to heal it. But we cannot rush this process. We are moving at the speed of spirit. Anytime we go into judgment of ourselves or blaming ourselves or criticizing ourselves, we have moved away from the truth. So an invitation to welcome the truth back home to you, to allow yourself to be in this state, to allow yourself to be in this process and to take little steps every day to love yourself even more, to accept yourself even more, to begin to explore what might it be like to open my heart a little more in this relationship where I feel safe. What would it be like to explore my emotions so that I may begin to feel connected to them? Wow, I feel something arising. What would it be like to really just feel it, to go with it, to let the emotions move through, whether it's crying, whether it's screaming? Highly recommend a process of allowing the emotions to come up and to move through, because they will and they do come up. But many of us have become very accustomed to repressing, suppressing, and controlling them. It's been very normalized to control our emotions, to apologize when we start crying. I'm sorry for this expression. To feel shame if we cry in public. It's like something that we're collectively asked not to do. It's considered weird. She's crazy if she's crying. There's so much manipulation and distortion around the feeling of our emotions. And we have to feel in order to heal. So when we're not feeling, things can start to build up in our field. And as they build up, we feel disconnected. We start living in these ways that are not our inherent truth. Feel disconnected from our passions, even though really there's an aspect of us that is so excited about our passions. Yet, this is a time for healing. Like collectively, this is a time for healing. And many of us will be vacillating between the expression of our gifts and of our passions and our healing. Many of us will also feel like we're solely in our healing. But in many ways, that is our gift. That is our offering. That is us living our dharma by allowing ourselves to heal. We're not only carrying our stuff, we're carrying a lot of ancestral stuff, anything that has not been digested and processed. We're carrying humanity's Akashic Records, all the imprints, all the residue of the pain and the ways in which we've treated each other. All of that is healing. So it's like, of course, you would feel these ways and be experiencing this. And when you can hold yourself in the light of your own love and acceptance, things start to move, they start to shift. But it is a process. So patience, being so devoted to love, to accepting yourself as you are, to loving yourself through the process. I personally love to create healing rituals when I'm feeling these waves of one of them that I used to do all the time when I was healing autoimmune disease, which was a period of my time where I really did a whole lot of nothing except feeling extremely miserable, like extremely miserable. I would create these little nests in my bed and just go lie down there. And I would feel miserable, but I would request in the creation of my nest for support from my angels, from my guides. Please work on me. Please support me. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that. Yeah, let your life be an expression of love and of intention, regardless of where you're at. There's nowhere that you need to be. And these ways of feeling and being are perfectly okay. And they're equally as worthy of a life of love. It's like we can still live a life of love, even if we feel just so miserable. That love might just look and feel different. The truth of love is that it's unconditional, yet many of us are believing that, oh, love feels like this or it's like this, and it's highly conditional. Love is unconditional. It is not dependent upon any sort of external circumstance or feeling. It's not just like the warm, fuzzy, like, yay. It's so much more than that. So the bringing forth of love to the experience supports relinquishing any rush, completely just burying any idea of I should be somewhere else. I should be doing something else. There's a reason why you're feeling this way. Thank you. I hope that helped. Okay, I'm just sharing this one comment. Thank you, Daniela, for that magically powerful, beautiful transmission. I felt it through my entire being, and everything you've shared has resonated deep within me and given me such clarity with everything that I'm experiencing, and the love and gratitude that came through was so intense and incredible. I'm always humbled in your presence. Thank you for all that you do for humanity. Such a pure heart and perspectives, and especially for being you. So incredibly blessed to receive these activations and transmissions and to have taken the Akashic training with you. I feel reborn with such peace and love in my heart since the end of the course. My consciousness is expanding and all the pieces of the puzzle are coming together, and I feel the truth, love, peace, compassion, forgiveness in the light and dark in it all. Thank you. We love you for all the wisdom, the passion, the magic, and the unconditional love and light you embody. Vienna, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I was so happy to have you in the training. It was such an honor, and I'm thrilled to know that you feel reborn with such peace and love in your heart since the end of the course, and that your consciousness is expanding and all the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. Yeah, that is 100% my intention in the training, and I'm so thrilled that you're experiencing that, and I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Vienna. And I would love to share with all of you who are present here that I have been hosting Akashic trainings for years now, and I'm about to host my last one. It starts October 11th, and it's going to be live. And it's 8 weeks long. It's virtual, Mondays and Thursdays at this same time. Oh no, it's actually 3 hours earlier, I think. 3 hours earlier than this time. So it's 8 a.m. my time. I'm currently on Maui. And I would love to invite you to be a part of it. I also have a really extended payment plan for this one. So if that is something that you would prefer, that's available to you as well. And I see Jessica and Mayu is joining us for this round. Yay. She's already taken my training, but she's taking it again. And yeah, I'm also offering it at a discounted rate for anybody who has already taken my training. So all of you are invited. And I really loved being here together today. This was a really profound experience for me, tremendously healing. And I know that we always create these collective fields together. It's not one person creating them or holding them. It's something that we do together. And I'm so grateful to each of you for your contribution and for your presence here. So thank you. I'd also love to invite you to future transmissions. I do these once a month. And if you feel called to support this work, I would love it if you just shared these invitations to these free live streams with anyone who you feel would benefit. Would really appreciate that kind of support. So thank you. Well, I love all of you so much, and I'm wishing you such a beautiful integration. And thank you.